Today on Captain's Comic Log, we are talking all about a historical resurrection. Welcome to Geek Devotions. This is a channel from devoted geeks who are devoted to letting you know that you are loved. My name is Captain Nostalgia. I am the host of the podcast Victims and Villains. We are the marriage of suicide prevention and pop culture. If you guys would like to check out a little bit more about our show, please make sure that you guys click the links in the descriptions below, along with the resources down there. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicide, addiction, self-harm, or depression, links are in the descriptions below. And today we're talking all about Batwoman. Given the fact that CW is about to unleash our first ever live action version of the character, I thought it would be fitting this month if we talked all about her first introduction into the modern day comic books. And so just a little bit of background. Sometimes in comics we are given a specific characters that'll serve for a specific era and that they will fade into the distance, similarly like a ship covered in mist. And unfortunately, Batwoman is exactly one of those characters, created by Edmund Hamilton and Sheldon Moldoff in July of 1956. Kathy Kane made her debut as Batwoman in Detective Comics number 233. Originally, the character was introduced as a love interest for Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, as a way to divert allegations from Batman and Robin's relationship, thanks to the hugely controversial 1950s book Seduction of the Innocent. In 1964, a new editor by the name of Julius Schwartz took over for editing duties on the Batman titles and eliminated all non-essential Bat characters. And thanks to the event, the 1985 DC Universe life-changing event that is Crisis on the Infinite Earths, this only solidified the statement saying that Batwoman had never been created at all, that she had never existed. Apparently in that mythology the character was never created, and that reigned true until the mini-series known as 52 and issue number 11. Writers like Jeff Johns and Grant Morrison brought the character back. So the first arc of Batwoman is entitled Elegy, and it runs from Detective Comics number 854 to 860. And if you guys like what we have to say, make sure that you guys read this on the DC Comics app now and let us know in the comments what you guys think about it. So, in her first solo run of Detective Comics, Greg Rucka, who's the writer on the book, hits her against a crazed cult leader named Alice. And Alice she's almost essentially like this female version of Mad Hatter. She speaks in Lewis Carroll quotes, and she's just really psychotic. And it just really, not only her alone, it really makes for an interesting read, but also at the same time, there's like this mysterious dynamic and maybe past relationship that exists between the antagonist and the protagonist within this. And it's actually something that's actually a concept that Rucka introduces rather early into the arc, maybe like the second or third issue, and it really pushes readers to discover a little bit more about the relationship and the dynamic between the hero and the villain. Not only does it do that, but it also crafts a wondrous written action sequences that are both between Alice and Batwoman, but also Batwoman and the cult. And while this arc it's filled with action and great sequences that just leave you on the edge of your seat, just wanting more, it's also filled with these little tiny character moments that really bring a lot of depth into the Batwoman character, especially between her and who is called the Colonel, who just happens to be her father, who is almost essentially the Alfred to her Batman. And it really just pushes the limits of storytelling and brings a new depth to this once dead character. Rucka creates a new hero from modern day age. The art in this is done by J.H. Williams III. And his art throughout this is really interesting, and to watch how it progresses, because there's almost this, as you're moving from panel to panel, there's almost this depth that is being developed throughout the course of this arc as you're moving from panel to panel. There's just a richness that evolves as the story evolves, and that's something that in comics I really haven't experienced a whole lot. Usually art styles, they'll stay the same, they'll stay consistent from issue to issue or panel to panel. This one really evolves, and that was something that I really enjoyed about reading this experience. As the arc develops with Rucka's writing and these characters move from point A to point B, point C, and so on, the art develops right along with it. And Williams is actually one of the true unsung heroes of the medium. His art alone is actually worth the investment into this arc. So overall, Batwoman Elegy, my bad, is a hidden gem within the medium. It's taking a character that was once deemed unnecessary and levitating her to a hero of our modern age. With an arc that is compelling, enduring, and inspiring, Rucka does a masterful job at handling both these larger sequences that are very blockbuster in their storytelling and intensity and action-filled, but also whispering these intimate moments between the characters. And it's matched only by the art of J.H. Williams, J.H. Williams III, that contains a steady evolution of his art and his depth as the story progresses. Eulogy strikes for gold, and it steals it in spades. So for me, this month, I am giving Batwoman Elegy a 5 out of 5. And if you guys want to hear me expand upon this, we're actually December 7th on Victims and Villains. You guys can subscribe over on our channel at youtube.com/victims and villains, or you guys, wherever you guys listen to podcasts, we'll actually be covering this and the arc that follows this in full. So make sure that you guys don't miss that, and let me know what you guys like most about Batwoman or one of Batman's side characters. Click subscribe to Geek Devotions and check out their latest videos. Until next time, stay devoted.